Hello, my name is Steve Morrow, and today I'd like to talk with you about voters who are not registered to vote on Election Day. In Iowa, voters who are not registered on Election Day can register and cast their ballot on Election Day if they have the proper identification and proof of residency. So here we'll pick on one of Iowa's great basketball players, Caitlin Clark. So Caitlin Clark will come in, we'll greet the voter, we'll go ahead and do a manual entry. I will type CLA using my rule of 3 in the last name box. I will go to the first name box and type in CAI and hit search. We get a no record found drop-down box. On Election Day, if you see this no record found drop-down box, don't automatically assume they're not registered. Maybe you did a data entry mistake. So go ahead and hit OK and try your work again. For this example, we'll say it's OK. The voter is not registered in Polk County. So we'll hit OK. So that goes away. And we'll hit register, top right-hand corner. And now our short story is back, except we have one more page. It's an 8-page short story. We'll go ahead and ask the voter a series of questions. We'll first ask the voter if they're a U.S. citizen. She's going to say yes. We'll ask the voter if they're over the age of 18, and she'll say yes. And we'll hit next. Page 2 of our short story is the voter's address page. There's nothing to clear here, so what we'll do first is ask the voter for their house number. Ask them for their house number first. And she's going to say she lives at 3201. We'll go over to street name, and the voter will tell us she lives on Maish Avenue. Maish Avenue is a named street, so if it's a named street, we'll ask her for those first 3 letters. Notice how the iPad will do all the work for you. It will search every possible address in our address library, and one address pops up. You're always going to pull the address from the drop-down box. And notice how the iPad does the rest of the work for you. We can hit next. A drop-down box pops up. This wants us to ask the voter if they live in a house or an apartment. This voter lives in a house, so we will select understood. Now we're on page 3. Here's where we have to take our time and register the voter. All we care about are things with the red asterisks. When we're registering a voter, I want you to have the voter spell their first and last name to you. So we'll go ahead and have the voter spell her first name. She'll say it's Caitlin. We'll go over to last name, and she'll say Clark, and we'll have her spell that for us. Make sure we got the spelling correct. We'll then go to date of birth, and date of birth can be tricky. A calendar pops up. I think it's great practice when you're capturing a voter's date of birth to get the year they were born first. And you do that by putting your stylus over where it says November 2006, so our pinwheel pops up. We'll ask her for the year she was born. She'll say 2005, and you'll put that in the gray bar. You'll ask her for the month that she was born. She's going to say March, so you'll scroll down until March is in the gray bar. And now we've captured the month she was born and the year she was born. Now we need to capture the day she was born. Put your stylus back over where it says March 2005. Up pops our calendar, and you can select 17 for the day she was born. Tap anywhere on the iPad so that calendar goes away, and we've captured her date of birth. Now we need to capture her gender. There's only 2 genders on a voter registration form team. Caitlin is a female. And then she has to decide what political party she wants. There's 5 options to choose from. It's just not Democrat or Republican. They could choose any party they want to be, and Caitlin decides she wants to be a no-party voter. And we'll hit next. Page 4, all we care about are red asterisks. On page 4, there is no red asterisk, so page 4, we'll just hit next. Now on page 5, Caitlin has to prove who she is. She has to show us something that proves who she is. And let's pretend for a moment she's still playing basketball for the Iowa Hawkeyes, and she has her student ID. That's a valid form of ID as long as it has an expiration date on there and as long as it hasn't expired. So student IDs can work for voters who are registering to vote. Look what happens when a voter uses their student ID to vote or prove identity. The iPad now wants to know the last 4 of their SOCH. She will tell us it's 2222. And we'll put that in the gray bar. We need to hit anywhere on the iPad so that drop-down bar or a keypad goes away, and we hit next. Now on page 6, Caitlin has to prove where she lives. She has to show us something that has her name and address on there. From the drop-down menu, any one of these documents is a valid form of proof of residency. She can even get onto her phone and show you a digital copy that way too. Caitlin brought her paycheck or pay stub, and as long as it has her name and address on there, That proves where she lives. We can go ahead and hit next. Page 7 is a voter confirmation page. We're not going to do much on this page. We're just going to hit next. When you see page 8 light up, team, I want you to turn this iPad around. We did a lot of work with this voter. I want the voter to give us the thumbs up or thumbs down to make sure we didn't make any mistakes. If everything looks good, we can go ahead and hit submit. We can hit accept. And we just registered Caitlin Clark to vote. A long sheet comes out. The voter is going to sign their name where it says registrant signature. They're going to sign their name at the bottom where it says voter signature. We'll put our initials on it. Caitlin, the voter, will walk this long sheet, all of her documentation down the table where we'll do a ballot exchange. She'll get her ballot, cast her ballot, and be able to vote. When the election's over with, we'll process this long sheet. We'll send Caitlin a new voter card in the mail. She'll be a registered voter highlighted in a white, red active for the next election. Thank you.